Grandma. Hurry up. When can we eat?
Oh, Eric, this is so exciting. The Lee family's coming to the Benson Grist mill today for a family reunion.
Grandma, why are we having the Lee family reunion at the Benson Grist mill?
Well, the Lee family played an important part in the history of Tooele and the building of the Benson Grist mill. We're descendants of the Lee family, Eric, and so was President Harold B. Lee.
This is so boring. Grandma, when will all the the Lee family get here?
Oh, look, here's the old Lee family album. Here's a picture of my great-great-grandfather Samuel Lee. I remember my grandmother Charlotte Lee Shields telling me about him.
Wow, this is really neat. What did she tell you?
She told me that Samuel's father was born in Ireland.
Ireland?
Yes. She also said that Samuel and his 4 sons were converted to the Mormon church and worked on the Nauvoo temple. Samuel's 4 sons crossed the plains with the pioneers in the wagon company of Ezra Taft Benson.
Didn't their father Samuel come too?
No, he didn't want to leave, so the boys came without him.
I'll bet he was awful lonely.
Yes, he was. Listen, and I'll tell you all about them.
I don't know how much longer I can stand living in a wagon.
Well, my wife's really pushing me to get the cabin started.
Yesterday would have been soon enough.
Francis, Isaac, Eli, there's timber up in the Ochre Mountains. We've got work to do.
Eli.
I'll catch up. Yes, dear.
I would really like a roof over my head when this baby's born.
I'll see what I can do.
And Eli?
Yes, dear.
Have you built that fire yet?
I was just getting to it.
Francis, where is that water I asked you to get?
I just got the
I
water.
have to get dinner started.
But I gotta go up
These
to
children are hungry.
Yes, dear.
Sarah, Joseph, come and help me get dinner started.
Mama, I have been thinking about Grandpa Samuel. I sure miss him.
Yes, we all miss him. Now help me get dinner going. Oh, Joseph, go get rid of this and don't tell anybody where you found it.
Hey, look, Mom found a dead rat in the flour barrel.
What are you looking at?
Hi, Mom. You should see these pictures of great-great-grandfather Samuel Lee in the old family album.
Whatever happened to him?
Well, it's an exciting story. The valley had started to grow. It was the time of the gold rush in California.
The roads are paved with gold, or so the folks back home have often been told. And many are the rich who made their fortunes digging in a ditch. They say that all you need is just a pan, a shovel, and some grease. Now we've come to explore that dusty river and its lusty shores. But all is not to find. The only water we found is filled with brine. The desert sun does beat, and I've got blisters underneath my feet. How far to the Golden State? Oh, California, my body just can't wait. Too old to make this trek to the dusty river and its lusty bay. Oh, dusty river, save it again for me. This mountain fever, making everything hard to see. They say that the gold dust found in the river is enough to make a grown man quiver. Let's rest for a minute, fellas. You're gonna make me jealous, 'cause I'm not sure I can make it. The road is hard and long, and every step brings out the traveler
Hello, welcome to our settlement.
Are you fellows hungry? We have some warm cornbread and...
Alfred? Alfred, is that you?
Father? Father, how did you get here?
After you all came west, there was nothing left for me. So I joined the gold rush, and here I am.
We thought we would never see you again.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. You will stay, won't you? The children missed you so.
Please stay, Grandpa, please stay.
Well, that did it. Of course I'll stay. I missed you all so much.
Maybe I'll join the gold rush.
Son, your family's worth more than any amount of gold.
Well, fellas, I hear that gold is calling us.
I see that you've taken the Hastings cutoff to California.
Yes, the Hastings cutoff will get us to the gold sooner.
The Donner Party took the Hastings cutoff and didn't have much luck with it. In fact, they met with disaster in the Sierra Snows.
The Oregon Trail would have been slightly longer, but a lot less difficult, and so much safer for your party.
Well, when you're looking for gold, time's everything.
Yeah.
Fellas, it looks like I'm not going to be traveling with you any longer. I've decided to stay here with my sons and their families. Good luck in California.
Well, Samuel, you take care. It's been nice having you along.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah,
Good luck.
See you later. See you later. See you later.
Finally, the Lees are all together. Well, Tom, don't you think it's time to add another member to our family?
Yes, Tom. What about Harriet?
Grandma, who's Harriet?
When Alfred and Isaac's families were on their way west, Isaac's wagon broke down. They found a Mr. Wolcott who repaired wagons. While their wagon was getting fixed, Mr. Wolcott's daughter, Harriet, visited with Tom. That night, she asked him to dinner.
Finally, something interesting.
Later, Harriet said she'd like to go west with them. Tom explained to her that it was impossible. Harriet vowed that she would run away. Tom was afraid that her father would accuse them of kidnapping her. Harriet cried, but seemed to be resolved to her fate of being lonely and losing her true love. They bid goodbye, and Tom and his family left the next morning.
So, didn't Harriet go with them?
Well, that night the Lees heard horses' hooves, and here came Harriet galloping in on her pony. She had left her father and found Tom's camp. Tom was worried because he knew Mr. Wolcott would accuse them of stealing her for sure. The next morning, the Lees prepared to return her, but Harriet's father and her 3 brothers arrived first. Her father threatened Tom with a gun, but Harriet intervened, saying that she left by her own decision. She insisted she was in love with Tom and refused to go back with her father. After much pleading and arguing, her father said that if Tom would marry her and they would take good care of her, he would let her go. He gave up trying to persuade her, and Harriet continued on with the Lees.
Grandma, is there a picture of Tom and Harriet in the album?
Yes. This is one of their pictures on their wedding day.
Looks like we're going to have a wedding. Go get Bishop Roberry.
your new life. I promise to love you always.
Holding you softly under the moonlight, touching your hand. I've found that my dreams have all come true. Sweet as a spring love song, bright as a day which lasts all summer long, clearer than any blue sky. We have a love that will never die here in this valley with my dear sweetheart. Feeling so good, could this really last forever? Hearing the music, tasting the moment. Let's tell the world we're off to begin our lives anew. Sweet as a spring love song, bright as a day which lasts all summer long, clearer than any blue sky. We have a love that will never die here in this valley. Now we're together, one happy family, finding out what a treasure, discovering what a pleasure, and loving in every measure, this home we have come to share.
And so Tom and Harriet were married.
But Grandma, what about the mill?
Yes. How does the Benson grist mill fit into all of this?
Well, by this time, the families were getting established in the Tooele Valley. President Brigham Young instructed Ezra Taft Benson to build a sawmill and a grist mill for the settlers here at Three Springs. These mills were necessary for the development of the community. Look, here's a picture of Alfred and his brothers in front of the mill.
Well, bless my soul if it isn't Ezra Taft Benson. What a pleasant surprise.
Here, let me take your horse.
You must be very thirsty. Would you, brethren, like a drink of water?
Oh, well, thanks for the water.
Well, what brings you men to our valley?
I've been given the rights to the timber in the Ochre Mountains and the water rights in Twin Springs. President Young has instructed me to have a sawmill and a grist mill built on this spring. Are any of you interested?
I hear you say that you need some men to build a mill right fast. Well, it may just pay me late and she'll feed some flags. There's really no denying the very best around are living in this valley currently.
If you've never heard of a British bunch who call themselves the Leaves, it's time to bend your ear and hear a simple melody of four men who do magic on freshly fallen trees. Oh, Brother Benson, won't you listen, please?
We are the Brothers Lee, famous for our carpentry. We can build a mill that surely will last for 100 years. Heck, it may be standing here when our Lord and Savior comes again. If you want a sawmill, we can build it. If you want a grist mill, that's just fine. The water wheel, there's nothing really to it. Just get us all the lumber you can find. demonstration here for you to see that all is well enjoying when builders such as we are given such responsibility.
For lack of knowing in the book of Genesis we read, supply the people with the very vessel they did need to weather out the rough times with great utility, preparing for the day of harvesting.
We are the Brothers Lee, famous for our carpentry. We can build a mill that surely will last for 100 years. Heck, it may be standing here when our Lord and Savior comes again. If you want a sawmill, we can build it. If you want a grist mill, that's just fine. A water wheel, there's nothing really to it. Just get all the lumber you can find.
So in the future, when the folks are gathered all around, they'll look upon the stately mill which dominates the ground.
And with a tear remember this sentimental scene when we begin to build the Benson mill. We are the Brothers Lee, famous for our carpentry. We can build a mill that surely will last for 100 years. Heck, it may be standing here when our Lord and Savior comes again.
Before you know it, they will
If you want a sawmill, we can build it. If you want a grist mill, that's just fine.
They'll take their hammers and they'll pound all around and then you will
Just get us all the lumber.
Get 'em all the lumber, get 'em all the lumber you can find.
Could I have everyone's attention, please? Now that I've been appointed probate judge in this area, I have the authority to make this mill site a city.
What are you going to call this new community?
We could call it Milltown.
But we don't even have a town yet.
Well, how about Milton?
I don't like Milton. That's a man's name.
I think we should name it Millville.
No. It should just be called Mills.
Could we call it Mill Pond?
That's too prosaic.
Prosaic?
Yeah, prosaic. You know, dull and unimaginative.
Well, whatever we name it, it will certainly enrich our lives to have these mills here.
Well, I know. How about Richville? After John T. Rich. Hey, maybe we'll all become rich.
Richville, the county seat of Tooele County. That sounds good. Now that we've got that settled, let's get back to work.
Work. Always work.
Grandma, were there any Indians in Tooele? Indians are cool.
Oh, yes. The Goshute Indians in this valley had problems with the pioneers settling at their water holes. When the Indians would return to hunt in that area, they would find new settlers and no game. In fact, that is just what happened after Harrison Sevier and James McBride settled at Willow Springs. When the Goshutes couldn't find any game, they took off with Severe's and McBride's cattle and horses.
Chief Tabby, Moon, we thank you for coming.
Yes, Brother Severe and I have a problem. Your warriors have taken our cattle and horses.
All this, our land, what on our land belongs to us. You scare antelopes away. We take your animals for food.
Without our animals for food and to plow with, Brother McBride and I are afraid our families will starve this winter. We may have to move from Willow Springs to here for the summer.
Our families need food. We starve.
Chief, gentlemen, there needs to be a better way than a fight. Or still.
I agree with Brother Lee. Brigham Young has counseled us that it is better to work with the Indians than to fight with them.
But our families barely have enough food to keep from starving.
The Indians are hungry too. We have settled on their hunting grounds. White man and Indians both have to have homes. Both have to eat. We can help each other.
How? We help each other.
We'll teach your people to plant and grow food.
We show you how to hunt.
We'll share our food and knowledge.
We share land with you.
We want to be friends with the Goshute Indians.
Yes, friends.
After this incident, Harrison Sevier and William Lee, Francis Lee's son, became missionaries and state Indian agents to the Goshute tribe.
Hi, Mom. Want some chips?
Linda, you're interrupting Mom's story. She's telling us about her ancestors in the Lee family album. Didn't you tell me something about the U.S. government sending an army to quell the rumored Mormon rebellion?
Yes, that's right. Brigham Young sent messengers to warn the people that Johnston's army was coming to annihilate the Mormons. He advised all Tooele Valley families to flee to Lehi.
Weren't they supposed to burn their homes when Johnston's army came? That way there would be nothing left for the army to confiscate.
Mommy, I can't find my dolly.
Oh, Hannah, there's no time to look. We must leave immediately for Lehi.
But I can't leave her here to burn.
Hurry now and get in the wagon. We're almost ready to leave.
Sam, do you have enough straw in the cabin? We'll want it to burn quickly.
We're almost done. I still think we'd be better off to stay and fight to defend our homes.
I'll fight them. We need to show them that we aren't going to be pushed around.
We could hide in the mill and ambush them.
Remember, men, our prophet Brigham Young has asked us not to fight. Have you forgotten Hans Mill so soon?
Sure to put straw in the cabin for burning. Don't miss our broom. Night's coming soon. Tomorrow they'll march, and their trumpets will tell it. That's when we'll light up the sky. Remember the day we came here to stay. The sunset or the water. Johnston's to blame. They're playing a dangerous game. Remember the time, it wasn't so long ago. Children were laughing, playing in innocence. Happy day. Gone away. Now be still, though the army approaches, and the town is at stake, ready to burn. We'll help them learn. Coming here was a mistake. For we will have some torch here among us. Every fireman to be is to our souls. We'll always know we did not give them an inch. So be still, our fire is waiting to reduce this to naught. We'll shed our tears, weeping for years, buried beneath all the rot. And we'll fight with a hook and a plowshare, and we'll throw in the flame, burning our love, turning our hearts, yearning for never
Grandma, that is just awful. Did they really have to burn their homes?
Fortunately, no. They left their homes and evacuated to Lehigh as they were told to do. And to Johnston's surprise, found that there was no rebellion here. Brigham Young made a truce with the army, and he sent the saints a signal to return to their homes.
Wouldn't that be awful to have to leave your toys in your house and have them all burned up?
Yes, it certainly would, Eric.
Do you have any pictures of boys my age in the album, Grandma?
Yes. This is Joseph and Aaron Lee. Joseph wanted to be a Pony Express rider.
What is a Pony Express rider?
Well, a Pony Express rider was like a mailman. The Pony Express carried the mail overland from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California on horseback. Young Pony Express riders rode 100 to 120 miles each day at breakneck speed. It used to take 21 days to transmit news across the country, but the Pony Express promised to do it in 10 days, despite rain, hail, sleet, snow, or Indians.
That sounds fun. Did Joseph ever become a Pony Express rider?
Well, almost.
Hiram, what are you doing?
I'm not Hiram. I'm a Pony Express rider.
You couldn't be a Pony Express rider. You're afraid of Indians. Pony Express riders are brave and strong like me.
Aaron, you couldn't carry 20 pounds of mail.
You couldn't ride 100 miles in a day.
Yes, I could. Besides, they got stations with fresh horses every 20 miles.
You couldn't find the station. You get lost crossing the mill pond.
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask Father if I can ride for the Pony Express. I found this here ad in the newspaper. It says, seeking young, skinny, wiry fellows, not over 18. Must be expert riders willing to risk death daily. Anyway, I'll be 16 in a couple of days, and I'm the best rider around these here parts.
I'm sorry, Joseph. You're too late. They just finished the telegraph lines, and there won't be a need for the Pony Express anymore.
That's all right, Joseph. Besides, now I can show you how to cross that mill pond.
Company 10 hut. You go. Forward, march. Left, 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 right, left.
Oh no, Alfred, is that Johnston's army again?
No, dear. This is Colonel Connor.
Will this be more trouble for us?
No, I believe they're here to deal with the Indians this time.
Company, halt. Left wheel. Left face. Forward, march. Company, halt. Forward, march. Company, halt. Back row, about face. Forward, march. Company, halt. Right face. Right face. Your other right face, Private. Left face. Troops prepared and ready for inspection, sir.
Corporal, attend to my horse. Private, wipe that smile off your face. Suck in that gut. Fix those buttons. Is that canteen leaking?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe so, sir.
Carry on, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. Left face. Forward, march.
Mary, what are you doing?
Now, Mary, you can't have anything to do with...
But, Mother...
You know how important it is to keep the faith.
I know.
Unfortunately, Mary's heart was broken, and she never married.
Oh, love at first sight, but such a sad and lonely ending. This is making me sick. What happens next, Grandma?
Well, Colonel Connor's soldiers discovered rich ore in the hills above their camp, and they turned to mining. Word spread, and men came from far and near to dig for riches. Colonel Connor called their mining camp Stockton, after Stockton, California.
I heard the miners became unhappy with the Mormon majority and their conservative laws in Tooele County.
That's right. The miners devised a plan to transport sympathetic voters from all over the territory to increase their chance of winning the upcoming election. The miners arranged for free stage rides and free drinks along the way for those who would travel to Tooele to vote for them. Wagon loads of voters came from as far away as Lehi and Corinne.
You know, Sadie, these Mormons are running everything. If they had their way, we'd have no beer. No gambling. This town has a law for everything. It's time to break up this Mormon rule.
No beer.
No gambling.
No sneezing.
No breathing. Let's break it up. Let's form our own party.
Yes, the Liberal Party.
These Mormons run everything, right down to the air that we breathe. They've got a law against every vice. We all say it ain't nice. That's for sure. All day we work the mind. Then when it's quitting time, we've got more on our minds than silly hillbilly rules. Fools!
Darn tootin', give me a whiskey.
I'll take a beer.
Listen, boys, I got an idea. There's an election coming up. We gotta be ready to jump.
Who's it gonna be?
We'll find a candidate, put him right on the slate.
Next year?
No, this can't wait. This year's gotta be it.
Yeah!
I know a guy named Lawrence Brown. He's the best darn liberal in town. So pick up your picks and join the fight. Lawrence Brown for judge, raise your shovels, cause the liberals are gonna have fun.
Vote for John Rollberry. Vote for John Rollberry.
Vote for John Rollberry, Rollberry. Vote for John Rollberry, he'll clean up this town. Starting with the bars, he'll close the saloons down. His character is so very like the man to choose. Honest, true, chaste, benevolent, down to his shoes.
Straight-laced and bishop extraordinary. Oh, what more could you ask for? Support John Rollberry in his quest for judge. Let the People's Party represent your cause.
they're gonna show up here to be residents of our dear county. They'll come to swing the tide, rescue us from our plight.
My heart just fills with pride
to know that we're gonna win.
We'll show them. When they count all the ballots, I predict Liberals by 106.
Or maybe a couple hundred more. So go recruit them, boys, make a Liberal noise. We're gonna run up the score.
Say a prayer for Roberry, say it loud and clear. A rumor's going round that there is much to fear. The Liberals are so very devious to a man. They've got a plot that's got a lot of dirty tricks planned. Now get out and vote, the election is at hand.
Vote for John Roberry. Lawrence Brown's the man that we need. His character is so very. He's a leader indeed. No time now for a change. No time to rearrange. My age is really strange. The Liberal Party will win. Support John Roberry. Count the ballots, we got it made. A reputation so very. All the bets have been laid. Clean out the office first. Set up a friendly purse. Open to all immerse. And bring the Liberals a victory.
Hey, gather round, they're counting the votes.
1,228, 1,229, 1,230. The Liberals win!
Yes, the Liberals won. There were 1,230 Liberal votes cast, and only 250 registered Liberals in the county.
Weren't the People's Party upset?
I should say they were. In fact, the People's Party hid the county records from the Liberals. Finally, Brigham Young had to intervene and tell the people to recognize the Liberals as victors of the county election. But the law was changed so that only those people who lived in the county could vote. While the Liberal Party was in office, they spent all of the tax money and left the records in a mess. But they had a great time.
What are you looking at?
Grandma is showing us pictures of our ancestors in the Lee family album.
Bob, look. Here's a picture of your great-grandfather Samuel Francis Lee, the blacksmith.
Oh, yes, he was the blacksmith who only hired handsome apprentices who would make suitable husbands for his daughters.
Did any of those apprentices ever marry any of his daughters?
Why, yes. Grandpa Robert Shields did. He married my grandma, Charlotte Lee.
What is it, Rob?
Here come the Indians. They keep bringing me wild horses to shoe, and they bet each other whether I can shoot them without getting kicked. It's great sport for them.
Look, it's Big Tom.
Oh no, this could be trouble.
Rob, horse needs new shoe.
Tom, this horse has never been shod. Where did you get this horse? Is it another one of your wild horses?
All my horses wild. You shoe for me.
How much did you bet this time?
Bet wife.
Well, I guess for her sake I'd better succeed in shoeing this horse.
No worry, not good wife.
Come back in an hour. I'll have Samuel help me shoe this horse.
Here's your lunch, Father.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Here's your lunch, Rob.
My favorite. What's the special occasion?
Well, I need you to do a few things for me.
Such as?
I need some venison from the smokehouse. The hinges on the back door have got to be fixed. I need you to build us a cradle and split some wood.
A cradle? A cradle! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Rob and Charlotte's first baby was a girl. They named her Bertha. That baby girl was my mother.
Look at this picture, Grandma. It has Hawaiians in it. Did one of the Lees go to Hawaii?
No, Jenny, the Hawaiians came to Tooele. This is a picture of President Wilford Woodruff and Harvey Clough with Grandpa and Grandma Shields during the Hawaiians' Pioneer Day celebration at Yosepa.
Yosepa? Where's Yosepa?
Yosepa is a Hawaiian settlement in Skull Valley. The Hawaiians, or Kanakas as they were called, came to Utah to work in the Salt Lake Temple. The church bought a ranch in Skull Valley for them. The church also built them homes, a school, and a store. They called this community Yosepa, after Joseph Smith.
Welcome to our Hawaiian Pioneer Day celebration. Today marks the first-year anniversary of the arrival of the Hawaiian Saints in Yosepa. Before we begin the festivities, we want to thank President Wilford W. Woodruff, George Q. Cannon, and Joseph F. Smith for traveling so far to be with us today. We also wish to thank our state Indian agent, William Lee, and Chief Tabby, Captain Thomas Lee and his wife Harriet, for joining our celebration. Now, President Woodruff, would you like to say a few words to us?
Thank you, Brother Clough. I want to announce that after the celebration today, we will be dedicating Skull Valley as a gathering place for the saints from the islands of the sea. We acknowledge the great sacrifice our Hawaiian brothers and sisters have made in their long journey to Utah to work in and attend the Salt Lake Temple. So, without further delay, let the festivities begin.
My mother must have told me 1,000 times how much fun she had that night at Yosepa. We'll have to take a drive to Skull Valley sometime to see the Kanaka Cemetery and the monument that President Hinckley dedicated to the Hawaiian pioneers.
Mother, had the Lee brothers passed on by now?
Yes, Linda. By the beginning of the 20th century, the Lee brothers and their fellow settlers had passed on. But their descendants continued to live in the valley and carry on with the same pioneer spirit of their fathers.
Oh my gosh, look at these old-fashioned swimsuits. I wouldn't be caught dead in a swimsuit like that.
Isn't that a picture of Grandma Bertha and Grandpa Earl?
It sure is. That picture was taken at Garfield Beach.
A beach? Where's a beach in Tooele?
Well, Garfield Beach was on the shores of the Great Salt Lake near Black Rock. My father drove wagon loads of people to the beach for outings, and my mother would join him.
Hey, wait. Are you girls ready to go to the beach yet?
Almost. There isn't much to this bathing suit.
Where's Bertha?
She's still in the tent.
Bertha, are you about ready yet?
Have you heard about Bertha? She's a little afraid to expose, embarrassed to show her naked toes.
Not true.
Guess we better unearth a little strategy to help her out. Come on, baby, don't hide. You got age on your side. Come on, Bertha, this ain't not worth of your pride.
If you wanna have fun, just get out and run down to Garfield Beach and the Black Rock Sun. If you wanna go play, just catch the rays in the salty air by the bay. You won't float away, I promise to stay with you.
She's afraid of those dangerous flies that come up and nibble on your socks.
Oh my!
And you'd rather be screaming, the water's too cold for her kind. Come on, Bertha, let's go. We've got something to show. Come on, lady, we're all waiting to know.
If you wanna have fun, just get out and run down to Garfield Beach and the Black Rock Sun. If you wanna go play, just catch the rays in the salty air by the bay. You won't float away, I promise to stay. So come out and play at Garfield today.
Bertha, are you about ready to go yet?
Okay, I'm coming. Earl, don't laugh.
You're going to have to take off the towel if you want to go swimming.
Oh, that's okay. I don't know how to swim.
My dear, dear Bertha, you don't need to know how to swim. The Great Salt Lake has so much salt in it, there's no way you could sink.
Don't you just love the smell of the Great Salt Lake?
I'm glad we're alone. I have something I need to ask you.
Would this have anything to do with your conversation with my father last night?
Bertha?
Come on, you guys, you're missing out on all the fun. Come on, let's go.
But Earl...
It's okay, Bertha. We can talk later.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
That night, my father proposed to my mother, and she accepted.
Another good story.
Yes, Jenny, my parents were married and settled in Tooele, where my father was employed as a telegrapher and railroad agent for the Tooele Valley Railroad.
You showed us where you used to work, Grandma, when you took us to the Railroad Museum.
Yes, the Tooele Valley Railroad ran right through the center of town. The steam engine was noisy and dirty, with cinders flying everywhere. This became quite a problem on Mondays, when the women hung their clothes out on the lines to dry.
It's the Tooele Valley Railroad, which for short we call TV. It'll take us to the smelter and the hottest place we've seen. It's a risky occupation, time we earn our reward. Chugga, 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 choo, choo. Chugga, 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 choo, choo. Ride, 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 ride.
Look at you, man. You are so dirty we can hardly recognize you. Bertha, we need to start washing.
All right, men. Give us your clothes.
A woman's role is to clean up her man.
Shoulders aching, no complaining, not a single moan. Fingers rubbing backs are nearly breaking. We don't wear them nearly to the bone. Every day is never ending, and it's children turn to say, we wash till no soil remains. So we wash when the odor's so bad. Sacrifice of human fathers to if you've ever felt you lost your grip on avoiding a stitch, then you're normal, every woman surely would say. Lights and colors, different combinations, doesn't matter, everyone's the same. We should really get a final picture, voices writing in this little game. It's a dream, what a feeling, what a home we understand. Woman's role is to clean up her hand. Why you wash your women really wash? 'Cause we prove that we can. Always rubbing arms and shoulders aching, no complaining, not a single moan. Fingers rubbing backs are nearly breaking. We are wearing nearly to the bone. What a feeling, what a home we understand. Woman's role is to clean up her hand. Why you wash your women really wash? 'Cause we prove that we can.
Earl, last Monday I hung my wash on the line, and I had to re-wash it on Tuesday.
So did I. When that TV came through town, the fireman stoked his engine, and the cinders turned my laundry a dusty gray.
I think you had better have a talk with that fireman.
You men must be the new recruits for the smelter. Good morning.
Calimara.
Buongiorno.
Cameron.
Whoa, whoa, wait just a minute. It looks like we have a Tower of Babel here.
Babel? What's the matter, John? Don't you speak Greek, Italian, Swedish, Yugoslavian, or Chinese?
Thanks, Earl, for all your help.
Well, you'd better help them aboard and get them up to the smelter. Goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Hello.
Go again.
Smelter workers came from all over the world, which explains why there are such varied cultures in Tooele. Our ethnic groups are very important in the history of our valley.
Many of these same young men served our country in World War II. Tooele County was very involved in military preparations for that war.
Yes, that's how Tooele Ordnance Depot, Dugway Proving Grounds, and South Area came to be.
Grandma, what happened here?
That's a picture of me while I was working at Tooele Ordnance Depot when we had one of our famous Tooele County windstorms. When the wind hit, the damage was devastating. Roofs were blown off the newly constructed buildings. Telephone poles were snapped off and wires were strewn everywhere. Not only was the depot in shambles, but the chief engineer was ready to pack up and leave Tooele.
This place is a mess. Since when did Tooele mean wind? Maxine, how did Tooele get its name anyway?
Well... that's easy. A young Englishman said it was too illy here.
No. There were lots of willows growing along the ditch bank, so they said it was too willy.
Well, I heard it was named after an Indian chief who lived in the valley before the settlers came. His name was Chief Tooele. Captain Stansbury spelled the valley as Tuilla on his map of the area in 1849. The spelling is like the Indian chief's name.
Also, Brigham Young's secretary, Thomas Bullock, is said to have misspelled the tules growing in the valley as Tooele.
I guess no one really knows for sure how Tooele got its name.
I don't give a hoot. To helly with Tooele.
Grandma, did they really say that?
Oh yes, I was there.
Oh no, there aren't any more pictures in the album. Oh. Our ancestors were really great.
Thanks, Grandma, for telling us those stories. It was fun.
You're welcome, Jenny. Now these stories are yours.
Look, the rest of the Lee family is here. Now we can finally eat.
Yes, Eric, we can eat. Let's go to the Lee family reunion.
There is a road that I have been upon that makes its way out to the great beyond. Around the bend, the faces disappear. So many friends I knew in yesteryear. But as for me, I'm staying where I am. 'Cause there is no place I would rather stand than in a county heaven made especially a place to live in holy harmony. 'Cause in Tooele there is music and it surrounds you everywhere. It's in the valleys, in the hills and the mountains, and especially that music's in the air. And in Tooele there is rhythm that flows from mountains to the salty sea. And in between there is a scene that will shake and take your breath and make you really wanna sing. You really ought to find out what I mean. Now once upon a time there was a man. His name was Alfred Lee, and he did land on such a spot where later they did build a little place they called the Benson Mill. But that's not old Alfred left behind, along with Isaac, Francis, and Eli. He left a legacy of pioneering seed that many generations would agree that in Tooele there is music and it surrounds you everywhere.
Grandma, I sure wish our ancestors could see us now.
Well, Eric, maybe they can.